I have walked across the surface of the sun. I have witnessed events so tiny and so fast, they can hardly be said to have occurred at all. But you are just a man. The world's smartest man poses no more threat to me than does its smartest termite.
Yo, yo, yo. Boy. It's your boy, Mike Flamez. And I'm with Benji and Nemo. And this is the Mike Flamez Show.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
Hope y'all enjoyed that fucking intro. We spent a lot of time picking out that beat. It took 20 minutes.
That's work.
That's work.
Hard work is what?
So, if you was paying attention,
Disrespect.
said, expect to be offended. So, on the very first
Expect to be
episode...
what? Hold on. Expect to be what?
Expect to be offended. So, on the very first episode, I'm chewing in your ear.
Boy, in your ear. All in your mate. You hear that?
Boy's banging, so I'm gonna go for another.
I gotta deal with it too. Damn it. Just for that, you about to get chewed.
So,
Chewed.
what we're gonna do is, to start the show, whether you're familiar with me or not, I'm gonna treat it like you're not, and we just gonna give each other a little quick interview, couple quick questions, so you know who the fuck I am and you know who the fuck he is. And yeah, so the questions, let me pull them up. So, Benji, are you ready for these questions? And
Let's go,
how
let's
we do
go.
this is I ask you, and you ask me back.
Yes, sir.
And then the next question you ask first, or we take turns, or we do it like that, because I'm creative and all that.
That's what we do.
And I got a chrono on deck. Hold on.
On that.
Listen. There's a lime in there.
There's a lime in there.
All right, so Benji,
Yes, sir.
who are you and what do you do?
Okay, well, first part, who am I? I go by the name of Benji, last name Nemo. If you're wondering why the fuck this dude got Nemo in his name, it's because, you know, Nemo had a fucked up fin and I, you know what I'm saying, got a fucked up leg. It's what it is. We'll get to that later. Beyond that, you know, some of you may know me for battle rapping, others for just being stupid. But, you know, I'm just a dude, you know what I mean? I'm a dude from Toledo that just battle raps and makes fun of motherfuckers. Trying to do something great with myself, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, that's who you are then, Doc. All right, Doc.
That's who you are then, dog. Alright, so I'm gonna ask that same question to you, sir. Who are you? And what do you do?
I am an MC from Toledo, Ohio. I've been rapping since I was 11.
I didn't know it was going there, but okay.
Who are you? I'm giving you a quick run through. I started rapping when I was 11. I started recording when I was 14. I'm 28 now. And I'm a rapper. I'm a member of the hip hop community. I'm kind of a loudmouth. I say what I want to say. And what I do is I'm an MC in the truest form. I can rap, I battle rap, I host concerts, I can get the party hype, I can do a club night, I can do a big concert. I'm the master of ceremonies, who I am. That's who I am.
You just made me want to redo my shit. Alright, so question number 2. What was it that made you realize that you was meant to be a part of hip hop? You was meant to be a contributing factor to this thing that we have. What was it, you know, whether it was a moment in your life or whatever it was, but what was it that made you realize that being a part of this thing that we call hip hop was the thing that was for you, you know?
Well, I always been a fan of hip hop. I always listen to hip hop music, but kids used to freestyle at lunch and freestyle. I mean, and I'm talking early age. People were rapping around me when I was like 10 years old. They might not have been that good, but they were freestyling, or they knew someone that either A, recorded or goes to a studio or actually had a song. I'm talking about people my age. And I used to kick it with this dude, my dude Beezy, who I'm sure you'll probably hear me talk about a lot. His stepdad at the time had a studio, and he always used to freestyle in lunch. He always used to freestyle at school, and basically I used to beatbox. I could beatbox pretty good. I could do a little. I'm not sweet. I just can hold it down. And he'd be like, "All right, now you flow." And I was like, pressure was on. But after a while, I kept hearing people that wasn't that good, and I'm like, "Well, I can do better than that." Mm-hmm. If people think that's good, I could, you know. And I performed at my, I still can't remember if it was a 7th or 8th grade, but me and this dude, I'm not gonna say his name because I haven't talked to him in a long time, and I heard some bad news. So, anyways, I got on stage with this dude. We rapped to the 50 Cent Wanksta beat, and in front of like 200 people in junior high. And after that, I was the man. I wasn't the man like girls was topping me off right after school, but I became the topic of conversation. I was no longer just Mike from math. I was, you know what I mean? We got everybody
Mike
out
the
their
rapper.
chair. We got everybody out their chair. So from there on, I instantly like the adrenaline rush, like that. It was that moment. I was like, I want to do this. It was that. That was mine.
That's when you knew.
That's when I knew. So flip it back to you. What made you realize that you want to, you know, I'm going to alter the question a little bit. What made you want to go from being just a fan of hip hop to actually partaking in the hip hop culture? And you wanted to do things, you wanted to do entertainment of the hip hop genre.
I grew up in a household, man, where I was just around music young. Like, I remember being, 9, 10 years old. And, if you guys are from where I'm from, you're familiar with a group, Hell's Kitchen. And they was just friends with my pops at the time. They work with them, do whatever they do. And they'd be over at the crib, just playing their CDs, playing whatever. And I just thought they were bigger than what they were, being 10 years old. It's like,
right.
They do what I, at the time.
Well, they did do it big, man. Shout out to them.
Probably watching, I was probably watching, people like, Cube and Tribe Called Quest and, stuff like that on TV at the time. And I'm like, yo, these guys are them in my head. You know what I mean? So
right,
I would just hear the music, whether it be from upstairs or the room next door, whatever it was, and just try to like emulate, because you know how it is when you're coming up. You just try to do your best kind of impersonation of who it was that you was around or who inspires you.
What you like, what you're into.
I just remember just kind of like being in the next room, kind of acting that out, being like, yo, like I could do this too. Just that young, being like, yo, like I could do this. Everybody was a rapper at some point, but then I guess at some point I kind of, just to recording music and doing what I do, I ended up on a path to where I ended up battle rapping and doing that. And I always thought just getting into rap for me, it was always like a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? Like people would try, say whatever, try to pick on me, do whatever they want to do, and I was always like,
hold on, pick on you like in rhyme form or
no, just whatever. And I was always witty. I was always that dude that had something to say back. Like you might have thought you was that dude and getting
like they cooked you, but you charred them,
like you might have thought you was that dude and getting your little ego stroke or doing whatever you thought you had to do at the time. But like my defense mechanism was always I had something witty to say.
So that's dope because
always,
in a way, we never even had this conversation before. So in a way, we both, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let me say this the right way. We both have came from a competitive standpoint that made us join hip hop.
Exactly.
So
and it was always that. I mean,
it's a competitive sport.
I mean,
it's a competitive genre.
I always thought not necessarily that I was better than anybody, because obviously I'm the guy that has a chip on his shoulder. But I always knew, and I know now that I can be better than anybody. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
But in the beginning, it was always like, all right, this is my only way to defend myself. I can cook you, whether it be I say, a little 2-bar scheme at him at the time that I thought was funny, or like a joke, or whatever. Which kind of segues into what we're doing now. Like, I just think like my wit and my I guess you could say cleverness, however you want to put it, kind of led me from I've done music and all that, but like led me to this. I'm a conversationalist. You know what I mean? Not only can I listen well, but I can, I feel like I bring an energy to the table that just is different. It brings something out of people.
So that's a perfect transition into the next question. What the next question is our interview. Okay, so what made you want to get on a radio mic, whatever this is going to amount to, whether it's a podcast or whatever. We just starting this out. This is episode 1. So
what was it?
What makes you? Because just so y'all don't know, nobody provided none of this. We bought everything. I had to, but we both have money invested. Benji had a microphone brought to the table. For whatever reason, the microphone went out. Benji, I just want to point this out. Benji pretty much instantly copped a new mic.
Yeah, copped a new one.
For what we're trying to do. So it showed me he's absolutely serious. So when y'all listen to this, as much as we clown, do keep in mind we are fucking serious in trying to make a good show. So you gonna go with us. What? Yeah, get a brew. You said that on the mic. We live.
Oh, okay. Well.
We do it. This is a taped kick it session every time.
Uh-huh.
But we gonna build. So
always.
The question is, this motherfucker gonna whisper, can he have a beer? Yes. So anyways.
I didn't know if you wanted that broadcast.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Right,
shout out the drink champ. Shout out to Nori and all them. We drinking.
Listen, I got another favor to ask you, because I'm a 12-year-old.
I'll crack the Corona.
Yeah.
Let me see your lighter. I need a lighter. I don't got a beer opener. Ooh! That was a good pop too. That boy went all the way in the corner. Here you go.
Boy.
Here's the Lions, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
So the question is, so we heard why you went from being a fan to wanting to partake into the hip hop culture, but why now do you think, just because there's an opportunity, what makes you think you belong on radio, or think you should, or maybe you don't belong, but what makes you step to the plate? Basically, what made you say, fuck it, my microphone broke and we can't do this if I don't buy another microphone, and you obviously just bought another microphone real fast to do it, so why?
All right, look.
What made you want to do radio?
Number one, I wasn't raised a quitter. You know what I mean? Number one, I wasn't raised a quitter. Period. That's what it was. But okay. What made me, I think, get into this whole thing is this, just like every other human being on this planet, I feel like I have experiences.
Right.
I done been through some stuff. I met a lot of people. I did what I do. As I like to say, I did what I do, the whoop-de-whoop. I've been there, I've been over there, and I've been right back here. And,
so why do you want to do radio is the question.
Well, number one, just like hip hop, just alone, I've just followed that. I listen to podcasts such as Drink Champs, like you just mentioned earlier. The Joe Rogan podcast, obviously, very informative, very entertaining.
Okay.
I follow a lot of podcasts, and I just realized what conversation can do. And I think just like hip hop, at some point, I realized that, I have conversation with my friends that we don't even think about recording, whether it's because we was raised a certain way and it's just, you mic'd up, whatever, fuck out of here, But then I realized, like, we talk about things that, especially in this day and age where people have a communication problem and they're so focused on their phones that they lack interpersonal skills. They lack conversation. Where I have conversations which I deem funny with my friends that I think can be of value to people. Not everybody, but some, you know. So that's my number one reason right there. If I was gonna sum it up in short, you know, just I feel like, I mean, I hope along the way you guys kind of follow us and see what we do and take something from it. That's my goal, you know, because that's how I learned. So
Right.
So now I'm gonna ask you that same question. What was it that made you realize that you can go from being the guy in hip hop, what you are, you know, to a thing like a podcast or radio or anything?
I actually have two answers, to be honest. I have two answers.
Okay.
It's a two-part answer. The first answer is because I fear nothing as an entertainer. I'm willing to do pretty much everything that is at least a part of who I am. As long as I'm not being somebody who I'm not, I'm willing to do it as far as entertainment. As long as I can be the person that I am. And I'm not afraid to talk on the microphone. I'm not afraid to say the things. We live in a society now where people are following now more than ever. People are afraid to stand out. It used to be cool to stand out. It used to be a thing. Now it's not. That's okay. What I'm doing this is to say, cheers, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm doing this to say, like, you gonna see on the show me and Benji gonna butt heads sometimes. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I wanna say. I'm always gonna say what I wanna say because I feel that's important.
It's always.
Not to just be disrespectful and run through whoever just to fucking run my mouth, but for a intelligent conversation, you know, to build. If we're gonna spend our time on the conversation, then I know as far as if we're talking about hip hop, sports, current events, I know I have a pretty valid fucking opinion, and I'm not afraid of a microphone. So that's what makes me want to do radio. I mean, I've been on a couple different radio shows over the years. I just think it's something I can do easily.
So,
the second part to that answer, what I was talking about, a two-part answer, is I'm also been rapping, as I said earlier, since I was 14 years old. I've been recording since I was 14 years old. I got fucking 24 hours worth of music. I got 10 plus mixtapes. Sometimes I don't even realize how much music I dropped. And I say this not to take away from my music, but I'm gonna give y'all honest moments. This is the first episode. I can't just limit myself to being a rapper.
Valid.
Because if you're doing that, I feel like the rappers like me personally, as a lyricist and as an MC, don't get me wrong, I like fun rap, I like club rap, but it's not my shit. It's not who I am all the time. But I am pretty well rounded to where I like to do it all. So it goes hand in hand with what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to limit myself as the only way that I can see success out of hip hop entertainment as being only rap. Because I have a lot more to offer. I mean, people watch my Snapchat, people follow me on social media, they laugh at my jokes, and my music doesn't always capture who I am the best. Because I make my music depending on my mood and the moment that I'm living in. So,
and you can't make everybody happy.
I can't make everybody happy, and you're limited to 80 minutes or less usually. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? And you got to stand by that. You got to stand by that. And if you're an adult, year by year, you change. You might not change a lot, but as the years go on, you become a very different person. So, I felt I should give myself a platform to say what I want to say in my music that I don't always get a chance to say. And also, at the same time, giving myself a connection to a different outlet in the hip hop culture, to the world, period. Whether you're not the biggest hip hop fan, but giving myself another outlet to possibly be successful in my lane. Not talking about riches, just being successful for my own personal goals, which is a whole nother question.
And a mutual love that we call hip hop. I mean, like, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
That's kind of the reason why I think this thing was started. Like, we met, we kind of connected on this, like, yo, like, we view hip-hop as if it was our sport. As excited as people get for football and basketball. And
I take it a step further.
that,
I take
like-
it a step further. When people ask me, like, what I am, people ask, what are you? People will say I'm a Christian, or I'm a Christian. I'm an atheist. Some people are in gangs. Some people consider themselves entrepreneur. Whatever you consider yourself, I consider myself hip hop.
I'm hip hop.
As of recently, I don't just introduce myself as a rapper, because a rapper is just one degree of what I do. It might be my leading attribute as far as hip hop goes,
But it's one.
but it's not like, just like on Creative Player, or on your 2K or on your Madden, you got attributes.
You're a post-scoring rebounder, or a 3-point shot creator. There's always two.
And see me, I would say that, like, I'm just a playmaker at the end of the day. That's how I classify myself. So to answer the question, I know that was a long ass fucking answer, but that's
good.
why. That's why I think people need to know that, because there's
No,
two
I
different.
get it,
I have
though.
two different reasons why I'm doing this.
And
And-
to just, I don't mean to cut you off, but
You're gonna have to get used to cutting me off. We on the radio, and I'm telling
to-
you, I'm cutting you
to-
off all the time. I'm gonna cut you off all the time.
Segue out of what you were saying, and I know you're gonna cut me off, and fuck you in advance for it.
Yeah,
But
get used to it.
To kind of segue off of what you were saying, like that, you doing all of what you just said is kind of the reason why we here right now. If you think about it, you know what I mean? I don't know, most of you probably don't know how we met, but like, I had a birthday party this past year in 2016. Turned 25. Had a birthday party. This man showed up. Didn't really know, didn't know what I was doing. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get drunk, have some fun. This man ended up hosting the party for me, holding it down, doing what he do. You know what I mean? Mr. Ns.
It all goes down to what I'm saying as far as being part of hip hop. See, some people call themselves rappers. I literally consider myself a part of hip hop, because if I'm at a hip hop event and the hip hop event has potential and it's not really meeting its potential because there's a missing component or there's a missing piece to the puzzle, I am the missing piece to the puzzle. That's how I feel every fucking time. I feel like I can at least take it to a new height of where it's at this moment. All the time.
And I agree.
All the time.
It just works, man. I mean, just that's just to kind of, just my thoughts on everything that you just said. Like that's just, I guess you could say, proof of concept. Everything that you said, like, it's helped me personally. You know what I mean? Not only have we ended up here and connected to things like battle rap and just hip hop in general, just, the proof of concept is right there.
Building.
You know what I mean? You've accomplished more than a lot of people can say, and you can't deny that, whether you want to toot your own horn or not. You
Absolutely.
Can't, you know what I mean? You can't.
And I've gotten to the point where, if you know me over the years, I've pretty much always been cocky. My cockiness has actually been out of self-defense for lack of credit given.
And that's funny you say that, because that's kind of the same way that I approach, like, just battles and anything that I do. I've always had this underdog mentality, this, like, they're already counting me out just because of my appearance or how I come off. So I gotta go extra hard. I gotta go 5 times as hard as this dude that they say is the dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, whether it was being 10 times funnier, 10 times wittier, 10 times just more bars, whatever it was, I had to be better.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that me and you kind of just had in common off the rip. Just like, we kind of got it. We came from the
So
same.
enough with the bromance.
Word.
Because they're probably sitting there like, okay, we get it. So the next
Word.
question is, right now, with everything that you got going on, you got this radio show going on, You know what I mean? You battle rapping. You out here right now. What's your jam?
What's
your jam? I'm not talking about your favorite song of all time. I'm not talking about what's the song that you've always fucked with. I'm saying right now, like right now, and you don't have to. I mean, if you want to name a couple songs, go ahead. But what's a particular song that you've been listening to the past couple weeks?
Like right now?
Yeah. Like this past couple weeks.
I mean, this might throw a lot of people.
That you're really fucking with.
This might throw a lot of people off because it's in no way current. But it's Dave East. He has a song called Mama Working that was released on a mixtape that's probably 2-3 years old at this time. And just what he talks about on this record, that's my motivation. He just up all night, mama, she working late. You know what I mean? Knocking that purple tape. You know, I remember doing that. You know what I mean?
Wu-Tang.
That's my.
Shout out Raekwon.
You know what I mean? And just Dave East is so on fire right now that, you know, that's my guy. That's my guy I'm rooting for amongst these new guys. And I probably play him every day. Every time I go to work out, every time I go to do something.
I ain't hip. I'm gonna have to check him out because I really haven't. I'm not hip.
He's fire, bro. Like every time I go.
I've heard some things. Like I've heard a couple songs, but I'm not like hip. Like,
his album is called.
I haven't sat down for a Dave East experience yet.
Yeah, he's fire. His for those of you that don't know, his most recent album is Kyrie Chanel.
I get one of them boys.
Yep, you can find it on iTunes or probably Google Play or anywhere like that. He's fucking fire. He's the beginning of my day, the thing that I work out to. You know what I mean? The thing that motivates me and pushes me through that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And with me right now, because you're gonna ask the question back.
Yep.
I'm just gonna help you out. I'm just gonna assist you. Alley-oop real quick.
Alley-oop. That's 3 points.
He grabbing. Y'all can't see him, but he grabbing a beer for me out the fridge because the fridge is closer to him. So it's alley-oop right now.
That's 3 points. Alley-oop.
What I'm listening to, it's really hard for me to put it down onto one song, and this is really gonna throw people off. It's gonna probably throw you off right now. The main song I think I've listened to recently is I'm Sorry by Joyner Lucas, the one about suicide.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the record, as shitty as that is.
It's real art. It's real. It's hip hop and like it's and what the creators wanted it to be. Put it like let me say it like that. I feel like obviously I don't know none of the people who started fucking hip. Here's a later. I don't know none of the people that fucking started hip hop. I don't fucking talk to them. Cheers. I ain't got a lime in it yet. But I feel like that's what they wanted.
Yeah. He's the simplest way to put it, and again, I don't mean to cut you off, but the simplest way to put it is he's a breath of fresh air, man.
To lyricists and people who like substance in their hip hop, in their rap.
Not to mention his videos are amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
incredible.
And I know that's crazy because that's a song that's about suicide, but the reason why I say it's one of the songs I've listened to the most is because it's quite frankly, it's impossible for you to listen to that song and not feel some type of way different than how you were feeling prior to it playing.
Agreed.
It's gonna throw you for a mood.
So you like things that are provoking, that provoke a feeling, provoking.
Yeah.
Emotion.
I mean, it doesn't have to always do that. But I do appreciate it because it's been absent in new hip hop artists.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
so in 2000, I think I've been hip to Joyner for I opened for Joyner Lucas, by the way, a couple months ago.
Shout out.
And it's not even just because of that. Like, dude is really nice. Like, dude is dope. I got a lot of respect.
And then I think there was a second part. I mean, your answer's probably obviously Joyner Lucas, but. There's a second part to this question, which who was you listening to the most? Which my answer will probably be Dave East as well, along with your Joyner Lucas.
Who have I been listening to the most?
So, yeah.
It's a 3-way tie right now.
3-way tie.
It's Ice Cube, Joyner Lucas, and Kendrick Lamar. Three-way tie.
Well,
Those are getting the most play out of me.
Yeah, if I had to give three, I mean, one of these you guys are probably gonna laugh at, but I'd say Kendrick, Davies, and Joe Budden, just because I'm one of them guys that always goes back.
Still
to
banging
Joe
it, banging it. He's always in my playlist.
There's certain emotions.
I don't want to start talking about Joe Budden because that's a whole nother subject. This is episode 1.
Let's
I can't
leave that go.
start talking about Joe.
Let's let that go.
Fucking Joe Budden.
We'll get there. Stick with
Fucking
us.
Joe Budden.
Stick with us. We'll
Look,
get there.
Joey, I fuck with you, but I got a lot to say about you.
All right.
Okay, so the next question is personal favorites.
Their top 10.
Personal favorites.
Right.
Now listen, let's be clear. You got to be clear what we're talking about here. We're talking about personal favorites.
In hip-hop.
We're not talking about all time or what you think is how you should rank it. We're not talking about safe lists. We're talking about your favorites. We're talking about don't be afraid to say who your favorites are because your friends don't listen to them. Bitch, say who you like. So yeah.
My top 5.
No order required. I think a number 1 might be required.
Would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
Go ahead, brother.
All right, so easy. My top 5 comes off like a first name because it's MJ, Nas, Pac, Biggie. You know what I mean? Like, that's my top 5 easy. M will definitely be my number 1. If we're talking about lyricism here, he will definitely be my number 1. My number 6 will definitely be Big L. I had a big stint with him where I listened to him a lot. My number 7 will definitely be Joe Budden, just because of the impact that, and mind you, this is my personal, right? So number 7 will be Joe Budden, just because of the impact that he had on my life and the things that he did. Number 8 on my all-time list. Who will it be? You know what? No, I'm gonna have to go with Pun, man. Pun for me came pre-Big L. Like, when I was into the whole multi-syllable thing, Pun really, like, when I was in my whole I want to be taught phase, he taught me a lot. So Pun will definitely be my number 8. Number 9 will easily be Ice Cube, just because he was in my household a lot. You know what I mean? Like, my pops was in the NWA, you know, Dre, Cube, MC Ren, all that. And then number 10, are we talking about impact or just lyricism?
Favorites.
My favorite, I gotta go with Snoop. I gotta put Snoop in my top 10.
So recap.
So M, Dre, Nas, Pac. No, MJ, Nas, Pac, top 5. No, MJ, Nas, Pac, Biggie, top 5. Drunk motherfucker. That's top 5. 6 was what? Big L. 7 was what? Joe Budden. 8 was Cube. 9 was Big Pun.
I think your 8 was Pun and your 9 was Cube.
Yeah, 8. You're right. 8 was Pun, 9 was Cube, and 10 was Snoop. That's my top 5 personal favorites.
Top favorites?
Your top favorites.
That's kind of like an all-time list. I mean, it's a quality list. So kind of like an all-time list.
You mean mine?
Yeah, kind of. Your personal favorites is kind of an all-time. I mean, that's fine. If that's your favorites, I can't tell you.
I'm just talking about.
You like the greats?
Impact here.
Yeah.
I mean, that they kind of made me who I am. Again, our religion is hip hop here, Mike.
Right.
We're talking about hip hop.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? We don't go to church because we ain't never scared.
Period.
Shout out to Cube.
Period.
You know what I mean? But that's it. If we're talking about personal favorites here, that's where I'm at with it. So, again, I'm going to ask the same question to you, sir. Top 10. Your top 10 right now.
Pac. Number 1.
That's one.
Am number 2.
Easy.
Ice Cube number 3.
I like that.
That's where it gets tricky for me because then it's very opinionated
Yeah,
after that.
very.
What my favorites?
You're at 4 right now.
I'm gonna have to say Ludacris.
Oh, honorable mention for me.
4 Ludacris. 5 DMX.
Oh,
6. I'm gonna go with. I'm trying to think of people I've listened to the most. That's why I'm trying to go off of like. So 6, I would probably go with.
Don't.
Alright, it's tough.
Don't.
Probably go with Jadakiss.
Oh, can't be mad at that one.
And
That's
after
number
that,
6,
I'd
right?
probably, yeah. After that, I would probably have to go with Crooked Eye.
Oh, can't be mad.
King Crooked, he call himself now. And after that, I mean, he's
yeah,
the reason why I throw Crooked in there though. I just want to make shit clear, like. He was one of very few people other than Eminem when I was younger to literally blow my mind.
Bro.
Every time he rapped. No, I'm not talking about make good music or make singles.
Oh, no.
I'm talking about just blow my mind off verses that he spit. Every time I'd be like, what the fuck is this dude like killing it?
First of all, Crooked Eye's ability to...
Number 9 is Juicy J.
Ooh.
Number 9 is Juicy J.
And the number 10... Juicy J is fire, by the way.
Yeah. I'm torn.
Between?
I'm gonna go with... Tech 9.
Oh.
If you wrap this shit up.
Yo, that's just the first episode. We gonna bless y'all with some more shit. We gonna get it together. Stay tuned. Every Wednesday on the White Flame Show. Sugar dick.